Hi everyone, good morning, good morning. It is magical, fantastic Monday. Welcome to my Facebook Live. I'm super excited about this week because this week is a National Play Therapy Week and I am so passionate and excited about play, which is why every morning at 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday this week, I am popping here with Facebook Live to give you information about play so that you can really understand how vital, it's actually vital, play is vital for children, and how you as a parent can support your child's development in several different domains through playing with them, as well as increase attachment, deepen your connection with your child, make them feel loved and safe, and most of all, really through play, a lot of things get resolved for kids who might be experiencing anxiety, stress, maybe grief, loss, traumas. All those things can be resolved through play. Play is the language of childhood. So today I am going to talk about what is play and why it is important for child development. So we'll lay a foundation for our week today. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm going to talk about different types of play. So when kids play, there's certain types of play that they engage in, and each of the type of play has a little bit of different purpose, so that when you are playing with your child, you can kind of understand what are they doing and going with the flow, which is so important. So I'm really here to teach you how to play with your kids and how to be playful. On Wednesday, I'm going to dive deep into attachment play because we know how important attachment is, right? It's number one factor for children to really support their development, their brain development, social, emotional development, for them to thrive in this world. One of the biggest factors for them is to have a secure attachment with their parents. So I'm here to support you with that and facilitate that process between you and your child. So on Wednesday, I'm gonna give you a lot of fun attachment play activities that is there to promote your connection with your child. Thursday, this is a good one too. I'm gonna teach you some calming activities, some grounding activities, mindful play activities that will all help your child feel more regulated. And I know that it's really important for all of you to have that. Friday, we are going to talk about playful parenting because hear this out, it doesn't have to be such a struggle. Like letting go of the idea of discipline or punishment or rewards or consequences, all that is really old school. Believe me, you do not need any of that. You don't have to be that really strict authoritarian parent, and you don't also have to be that really like too permissive parent. Neither one work. There is other options, which is being super fun and playful and inspiring for you as a parent to really create an environment where your child truly listens to you. They are so excited to be with you. Imagine that, when your child is like super excited to be with you. They want to spend time with you because you are so inspiring. And it's through all that now you can actually have through influence with your child without being controlling at all. This is how powerful play is, okay? So those of you who do not know me yet, if you're listening, my name is Paula Kettela. I am a licensed clinical social worker and I am a play therapist. I work with children and families for over 20 years and I love to play. In fact, one of the kids that I once worked with, coming to play therapy with me, and she's like, Miss Paula, you're here in your play office so much. Like, when do you go to work? And I'm like, this is my work. How cool is that? And I miss my play office. Right now, I don't have a physical play office. So I've been doing some play online called Teleplay, which also works. So I love play. I know a lot about play. I know a lot about child development, and I'm here to support you to understand your child and support your child's development and to really connect with them. Oftentimes I do feel like I'm an interpreter for adults and parents to really understand children. And when we understand, we can have compassion and support them instead of getting into power struggles with them. So that is my intention. If you're interested, if you're like kind of like, well, I don't know how to play, I never learned to play. If you're feeling anxious or worried about play, or you just don't know how to do it, I am offering free consultation calls. It's going to be on the link below this video, where you can just book a 20-minute call with me, and I'll get you started on playful parenting, because that's really a way to get to your kid's heart. So let me dive deeper into what is play. So Plato said this about play: you can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. That's a really powerful statement, and so true. Like when children come to their first session, or maybe a couple first sessions with me, and the parents are like, we don't know what's going on. And of course, the child doesn't have the cognitive or language capacities yet to really express like what's bothering them. All I need to do is just have one session with them. Maybe they make a beautiful sand play scene or something, and I know exactly what's going on. So the children and I, we talk to each other through the play. That's our common language, and that is the language of childhood. So I agree with Plato that you discover a lot about a person through play. Froebel says that play is the highest development in childhood, for it alone is free expression of what is in the child's soul. Children play is not mere sport. It is full of meaning and import. So this is what I've been telling a lot of parents, especially earlier in the COVID, when schools were closed and kids were at home, and a lot of the younger ones who were going to preschool, they didn't really do well in the online schooling. And then, so they were home, and parents were really worried, like, Paula, like, my kids are not learning anything. They don't want to study, and they just playing. I'm like, yes, awesome. Let them play. The more they play, the more they learn about the world, the less stress they will have. Let them play. That is the task of childhood. So when your child is playing and laughing, beautiful, support it, nurture it, do not interrupt it, and know that your child's brain is actually developing. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how is play related to brain development, right? Virginia Axline says that play therapy is based upon the fact that play is the child's natural medium of self-expression. It is an opportunity which is given to the child to play out his feelings and problems, just as in certain types of adult therapy, an individual talks about his difficulties. So, and I see this all the time when children come to treatment with me, with traumas or anxieties. Oftentimes it's could be caused by divorce or separation of the parents, and they play it all out, and it's so beautiful to see that and to witness that, to really truly be a witness to that inner guide that is inside the child. The type of play therapy that I do, there's lots of different types. So the main type that I do is called child-centered play therapy, where the child absolutely leads. I will teach you how to do that and how to trust that, because I discovered that is the most powerful way. Earlier in my career, I was trying a lot of other things, and all those failed. And then I just decided, the child gets to lead here. And it becomes this beautiful dance of connection and fun and joy, and being together with the child is such a beautiful experience. So yeah, the kids play out their feelings and process their traumas and stressors that happen throughout the day. So play is the work of the child. So do not interrupt it. Montessori actually talks a lot about this. the play as the work of the child. So when the child is doing some activity, let's say they are just filling a bucket with sand and they're filling it and they are dumping it and they are filling it and they are dumping it. So many times I see parents and adults going in and interrupting that, just like it would be nothing, not meaningful. When your child is doing something, please honor it and respect it. This is very important, and you get to be very gentle when there gets to be a transition. I understand you might need to be somewhere, but be respectful of the child's play. It's very, very important to them. So approach it with respect, with compassion. I always, when I start to end the session with the child, I give them plenty of warning, and I keep asking them, are you done yet? Is that piece ready? I say something like, okay, let's just finish, maybe we can just finish this part and then we'll continue next time. So I allow them time to transition. It's a very respectful way to be with the child. Play is universal. Human beings, kids play everywhere in the world. Animals play. All the animals play, and how beautiful is that? So nature has given us this gift of play. So let's use that and support kids in their play. And guess what? When you play with your child, your own stress is being released as well. So it's a great way to release stress, especially laughter. So whatever you can do, being silly with your child, however you can induce laughter is absolutely fantastic way to get some good juices going in your mind and your body. Play is free, it's fun, it's voluntary. It is voluntary. So this is also very important. You can't tell somebody to play. You cannot force anybody to play. It is not play anymore. Play is always coming from this internal state of desire and motivation to engage in play. Play is rewarding in and of itself. There's that intrinsic reward in it. And this is why, like I always say, there's no external rewards or consequences that are required, because we get to guide the child into feeling good about themselves inside. This is all embedded in nature. It's just our natural consequences as well. We don't have to worry about putting any arbitrary consequences onto a situation. It just naturally unfolds from things that happen, from situations that happen, that you get to open your eyes and be aware and highlight those in your communication with your child. Play is timeless. It's like you lose yourself in play. Kids lose themselves in play. When I played with the kids in my play office, I had like the hour of 45 minutes that we played felt like 5 minutes, because we were so in it. We were just in it. It's completely time stops still. And I love that about play. And there's a decreased consciousness of self. So consciousness kind of drops. A lot of play, actually. I also play with adults, by the way. I do sand play therapy with adults, and it is so powerful, because especially adults, what's beneficial is to bypass the ego, bypass the conscious mind, drop into the authentic self and true self and deeper parts of of one's own soul and the archetypal level. So that is why when kids come to my play office, they don't see it as a have to. They don't see it like, oh, I gotta go to therapy. They cannot wait to come to play. And this is therapeutic for them. So it's so awesome that they are unconsciously engaging in this healing process without really feeling like it's effort or it's work for them. And play is free, you improvise, it's spontaneous, and you just have a desire to continue it. So those are qualities of play, definitions of play. So when you see all that happening, when your child is engaging in that play, just be there to support them in that. And if you do get to disrupt it, do it gently, like I said. So let's talk about why is play important? Like, what does it actually do? How does it support the development of a child? This is how they learn about the world. And we can see that already in mammals and any kind of animal. Like, how do they learn to hunt and how do they learn, to socialize is through playing. So kids are really wired to absorb everything in their environment, right? So they are exploratory learners, especially from 0 to 6 is this period of exploratory learning, and 0 to 3 is really the unconscious period of that exploratory learning where kids just absorb everything around their environment. So that is how we learn how the world functions, how the world operates. So this has to do with adaptation, so that the child, no matter where they are in the world, they learn to adapt to their culture, the customs, the habits. You've seen little kids, they play home, or they play going to school, and they play all these things that are then culturally appropriate for where the child is growing up. So all that has to do with the child being able to adjust and adapt, like being socially adjust and adapt to the environment they are in, so they can thrive in that. Okay. Uh, Social skills. Oh my goodness, this is one of the biggest ones. Kids learn so many social skills, and oftentimes, so when I play with kids, they love stuffed animals and things like that. So usually it's the stuffed animals that do things, and they go on adventures, or they have conflict, and we play through the projection into the stuffed animal is how they learn about social skills then in their real life. And what's really interesting, what they have found out, that sociopaths, if they've looked into their childhood, one thing that was missing in sociopaths' childhoods was play. So no social skills. So really, really important. So if you're worried about how do I teach my kids social skills, don't give them worksheets unless they are older, unless they are like, 8, 9, 10, something like that. They will learn all that through play. Maybe some good books and things like that would be fun too. But like, I want to take this idea of like teaching something to child. They will learn that you give them opportunities to play. This social skill development is naturally embedded in that, and there's ways for you to support that as well. Play also fosters learning and academic skills. Kids who play more, they learn better. It stimulates natural curiosity, exploration, self-expression. Oh my goodness, I've received so many amazing dance performances and shows and singing, and this like complete free expression of one's own soul. How amazing is that? Like, don't you wish that you sometimes could also step into that being so unrestricted? So supporting that, like put on performances at home, make up a stage, or they have those little machines with the microphones and a karaoke and all this stuff, and just have fun with it. It's absolutely vital. And kids who really, they're self-confident, I just see it growing, like their confidence in themselves, their self-esteem. So let them be free in their self-expression. So play definitely supports that. Language development, self-soothing skills, because kids play. Like I remember this one girl comes to my mind, 4 years old, and she was afraid to sleep by herself. So we practiced it in session. I didn't suggest this. This is just a natural guidance and healing of the child, where she told me like, okay, we're going to go to sleep now. We're going to go to bed. And she told me to go to this part of the office. And she was in the calm corner over there. And through that play, she was practicing self-soothing skills. And she was telling us when it was morning and time to get up. And in one session, we did up to 10 times that same process. And she is learning to soothe herself, to regulate herself through that kind of play. So a lot of self-soothing and regulation skills. It's naturally stress releasing. So play is naturally stress releasing. It's really important to allow children to engage that, and when they want to play, to let them play and play with them. It doesn't have to take long. 20-30 minutes a day is going to make a huge impact. What else? Oh my goodness, problem solving skills. I love this. I love seeing little kids coming in, and there's something that they need to work with their hands and their fingers that it's really challenging for them, and they figure it out. Same in social problem solving as well. I used to have a lot of siblings come in, and you know what? I was just there to coach and guide and support while the siblings solve their own problems. And kids always come up with better solutions for their problems that we ever can. So really promotes problem solving and creative thinking. So allowing, again, that free play. What else? Okay, let me talk about, this is the final thing that I'm going to talk about is how is play related to brain development. So it's absolutely vital for healthy brain development. And they say that it actually play helps the brain to organize itself. I think Dr. Montessori talks about it too, is that the hand is the extension of the brain. The hand and the brain are connected. So the more hands are used and the body is used, then the more beautifully the brain is going to develop, which is one of the concerns obviously we have now with kids being on the games and watching a lot of, like, engaging in a lot of sedentary activities. So movement, using the hands is all related to how the brain develops. So they have found out that the amount of play is related to the size of the prefrontal cortex. Again, right here, ability to think and plan and have empathy, have patience, impulse control, all your executive function areas are right here in the prefrontal cortex. So play is related to the size of the prefrontal cortex and also how rapidly it grows. So if you really want to support, if you have a kid who might have ADHD or something like that, any issues with self-regulation, play in and of itself will support the development of that prefrontal cortex. Play is also related to the development and healthy development and functioning of the cerebellum. Again, that has to do with motor control and learning and some cognitive skills, like especially related to language. And finally, this is the main message for you before I jump off for today, is how you can, as a parent, really charge your kiddos' batteries. There's that saying that some kids just have this leaky cup. You give, and it's like they have a hole in their cup, and whatever you do, it just goes out right away. So play is a really great way to increase that connection, safety, charge up their batteries. It's the best way for you to create connection, help them feel important and safe and loved. So my invitation is, do take that 20 to 30 minutes a day to play with your child. And I'm here to support you. If you don't know how, don't worry. You can learn this. You can absolutely learn this. So stay tuned. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I will talk about the types of play and really get into the nitty-gritty practical guidance about how to play with your child, okay? And I do have those 20-minute free calls. I'm just offering them. The calendar link is open this week, and then it will close. If you want to have a one-on-one with me, and we can talk about, like, what are your challenges around play and how you can start being the playful parent that is so connected and influential and inspiring to your child that the child can't help but to listen. Okay. Have a fantastic Monday and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.